podcast. Jebuth. 100 episodes. What have we learned? Everything's a 50-50 shot. It's true or it isn't. Yes or no. Whatever. You can lean a little bit harder to the left. You can lean a little bit harder to the right. But what it comes down to is it's truth or it's false. There's not a kind of truth. There's not a kind of false. You're pregnant or you're not. And if we take that mindset, you can really fucking dissect the bullshit. That being said, read a monster of a book. Everything You Need to Know But Have Never Been Told by David Icke. This is a doozy. The madman who's been proved right again and again and again. This is awesome. This dude, I mean, obviously he's writing that much about it's insane. So again, it goes back into it's right or it's not. And I just kind of think of like, I mean, this is conspiracy theorist, I guess, type thing. But again, if we go into it's right or it's not, this fool saying, yeah, we live in a simulation. Yeah, there's aliens. People are already dictating. You know, whenever you pick a president, it's already chosen. The biggest need to know, the inversion, log in, log out, one big problem, visitations. And, I mean, he delivers it in such a loving way. Like, you're like, this dude is right on, right? He's got it nailed. And if he does, because again, it's either truth or it's not. We live in a crazy, crazy world. Saw a ton of movies. Brewster's Millions. This one's starring the late, great, one of my favorite comedians, Richard Pryor. Seen it a million times. But it's super funny. What's cool is this one is it actually has the 1945 adaptation of Brewster's Millions. And it was really good too. Which is kind of surprising. And then I had never seen. Finally got around to seeing Edgar Wright's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And this is freaking amazing. I adore Michael Cera. Yeah, duh. It wasn't even on there. It just came to me. Michael Cera. I always think he plays like some awesome roles. That one is probably his best. And the movies were fantastic. Saw this starring David Duchovny and Timothy Hutton, who I'm not totally familiar with, playing God. And this is like a crime thriller. I actually really liked it. It's from the 90s. A little lesser known, actually, so I'd never heard of it. And fun. Definitely check it out. Finally got around to seeing, which I'd never seen before, c.h.u.d. It's a cult classic about the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. It was good. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, which is good, because I don't like scary. Has a young Daniel Stern, who's one of the bad guys in Home Alone. And I like. Saw this Primal Rage. Just like this monkey escapes, gives everybody I don't know, like almost like a zombie thing. It was good. I don't know, 80s horror, fun. You know, it's cool to see stuff like that's never around. Then I saw this, which I never heard of. Tomorrow You're Gone, and this stars Stephen Dorff, William Dafoe. This is freaking awesome. Charlie Rankin is out of prison, but not out of trouble. Indebted to the man who saved his life behind bars, Charlie must now carry out a murder to settle the score. But things start to change for Charlie when he meets Florence. So this is like modern day Bonnie and Clyde, love story, crime. I don't know. I had never heard of it. Just watched on a whim and loved it. So, whatever. If you like cool, weird crime, true romance type dealios, this is good. Time is running out, right? And, peep it out. Tomorrow You're Gone. And I don't even know how to say this last name. Lucille Hadzihalovic is fantastic. Innocence. This is just filmmaking at its finest. Hard to find. Yeah, Buñuel meets Angela Carter meets Enid Blyton. It's 4 stars all the way around. Basically about schoolgirls that live in like this magical, I don't know, boarding school of some sort. And this director is fantastic. So definitely peep out Innocence. Just filmmaking at its finest. Speaking of filmmaking at its finest, crime movie, cop movie, The 7-Ups, uh, the story of the police elite, the dirty tricks squad that even the regular cops are afraid of. And this is from the producer of Bullet and the French Connection, kind of spin off of French Connection. Um, Tough New York City detective Buddy Minucci is the leader of an elite squad of ruthlessly efficient renegade policemen known as the 7-Ups. They're called the 7-Ups because anytime they bust somebody, they get 7 years or up. But fun, fantastic car chase. Just in that realm. Also, saw this, which I ended up actually liking a lot, Mustang. And this is directed by Deniz Gamze Erguvan. It's a Turkish film from 2016. And it's about these girls who live with some like adopted relatives and just go wild and all the constraints that conservative Turkish family would have. But it's just done fantastically right here. Exhilarating, a beautiful film, powerful. I highly agree with that. It won a bunch of foreign film awards, or at least nominees at Cannes, Chicago International Film Fest, Philadelphia Film Fest, AFI. And the best foreign language film of the year, Rocked Me to My Core. Gets the heart raced in a beautiful debut. And yeah, so this is good filmmaking. Also saw, which, I don't know, just didn't know much about, but Red Riding Hood. And I saw the alternate cut, which is obviously a spin-off of the Red Riding Hood story, but done really well. I don't know. It's a flip. It totally alters from whatever your envisions of the fairy tale are. And then I saw Night Screams. This is, I believe, from the 80s. And yeah, I don't know. He's having a party at his house, and it's like weird. Like, some dudes escape prison, and they're in his basement, and then his girl is like a murderer slasher type deal. So like you think it's the prison guys, but it's one of their friends. And I guess the famous scene is they're cooking them on the barbecue or whatever. So I don't know. Good if that's what you like. It's if that's what you're into, it's fantastic. And then I've been on a big Tim Burton kick. Saw Beetlejuice, and I mean I've seen Beetlejuice a million times, so we're not gonna talk about it. But I had to see something else he had never done. Big Eyes, which is the story of this female painter and her husband who stole her fame by saying that she painted it all. He painted it all, but it was really her. Super cool, dude. Starring Christoph Waltz and Amy Adams, and they just steal the show. And it's beautiful, like Tim Burton does. And I liked it. So shout out Tim Burton, he can't do any wrong. Also saw for the first time Idle Hands, which is like a 90s, horror film type deal. It's good. Jessica Alba, Seth Green, Vivica A. Fox. It's cool. I don't know. The touchy story of a boy and his right. His hand's possessed. He's got to cut it off. That type of deal. And this I saw, which I actually liked. Super low budget. Starkweather. This is the dude that True Romance, California Natural Born Killers, all based on like this guy. He was a guy in the 50s, and this is like the dude that it's based on. But it was done like super low budget, and really well. I don't know. I actually kind of liked it. But it's fun to see a true story of like a serial killer. He wasn't a serial killer. He was like a rampage killer or whatever. I don't know what the difference is, but. And I got around to seeing Joel Coen's Q the Winged Serpent, which was pretty freaking cool. Michael Moriarty, David Carradine, Richard Roundtree. Kind of like a monster movie in the top of, I want to say the Chrysler Building. I think that's the Chrysler Building. But it was actually really good. Low budget, fun. You could tell like kind of turn on the camera, let's make a movie type deal. And in R.I.P. mode, William Friedkin, To Live and Die in L.A. I had thought I had never seen it, but I actually saw it a long time ago. I rented it on VHS, and it's the story of counterfeit money in L.A. This is fantastic, beautiful, just cinema at its finest. And if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and see it. Also, I went to the movies, saw Retribution with Liam Neeson. Obviously, you know what to expect. It was good, wasn't great. Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington, that was freaking awesome. And saw Citizen Kane finally for the first time. That was fantastic. Obviously, got to watch it a bunch of times. And I saw Gran Turismo, which was quite moving. The coach in there is the chief of police from Stranger Things, and he's just fantastic at what he does. That being said, try your hardest, do your best, read more books, stay humble, stay gracious. Podcast Jebuth.